There are a couple of things that you need to be successful with your TV show. You need to have a brand, not only a brand name, but also a brand identity. There's a couple of ways of achieving this. It's good if you can actually find a URL that is memorable. So in this case study, I'm using the URL BrandSqueeze.com, which is fairly unique. I was lucky enough to be able to pick that up, but there's all sorts of different names that you can use, and it's just a question of searching for something that's available. Sometimes the quirkier it is, the easier it is to remember. And try not to use words that are generic, because when people will search for them, they'll end up with lots of alternatives which aren't you. So as I said, the quirkier the better, and sometimes made-up words will work well as well. So here we are. We've got our name. We've got our TV show name. What we're going to do next is think about the visual branding. In other words, what will your TV show look like every time people watch it? It needs to have some sort of a personality. One of the ways to start with this is, in fact, to go over to Fiverr and find somebody to do a video intro for you. So let's type into Fiverr video intro and see what's available. So here's our list of Fiverr contractors who are prepared to do video intros of one form or another. Now there's a couple of ways of choosing a provider here. I like to go in and find out who are the highly rated Fiverr people. And here's a few of them here. So let's have a look at what these people have to offer. This is a scribble typography animation. That's where you watch people. Let's have a look at that. That's where people use hand animation to create your message, which is quite effective. Now that promo was actually quite helpful to us. That's an illustration of a Fiverr contractor actually branding their product. You notice how they had that music and that imagery, which was quite good. It's quite memorable. And that's in fact what we're trying to look for our TV show. But let's have a look at some other providers here. See this one here that says, I will record a killer 60-second intro. Now 60 seconds is very long, far too long. What we need is something that's about 5 or 10 seconds maximum. So we wouldn't be using something like that. Here's another one. I will make a clean, corporate, and elegant intro video for your logo for $5. Let's have a look at that one. Okay, a little short, not that memorable, easygoing. Now you've got to think about what sort of tone you want to create for your show. That might not be suitable. I'm going to take you to a real TV show now to show you what they've done with their intro and how they've created their branding. Okay, here's FitzBiz.
Welcome to another episode of Fitness Business Television. Coming up on today's episode, I'm going to show you how to get 35 comments to your YouTube video for a whopping $5. Tell you a little secret about running an effective referral campaign. I've got a killer resource that's going to make sure you never...
Let's pause it there for a moment. Let's have a look at what's going on. Firstly, we're at fitzbiz.tv. So you can see that here we have a website that has been created specifically for this TV program. What else is happening? The branding, you can see that we've got FitzBiz TV brand up here, which you can get, again, you can get that made at Fiverr fairly inexpensively. We've got an opt-in form up here for people to subscribe, and obviously you want to be building your list. You've got your embedded video, so you want to be using a WordPress theme that allows you to embed the video somewhere up front like this. And then Notice how the presenter is presenting on some sort of relevant background. Now we can use software to put all sorts of things into our background, and that can be a good place to reinforce our messages. Also, notice the way that the presenter introduced the TV show by providing an immediate point of relevance or creating interest by going through a list of what will be contained in this TV program to get people interested and ready to actually stay around and listen to the whole program. So let's have a look. He does that first before he gets into much of his creative, but let's listen to what happens and see where his musical creative and his branding comes in again, his visual branding.
Never oversleep again, and I share with you an awesome strategy to make money and generate leads leading up to Christmas. I'm Curtis Mock, and this is the show that helps fitness entrepreneurs like you run a more profitable business and have a little fun along the way.
Okay, so that little cartoon and that music becomes synonymous with this TV show, and when your viewers hear it, it's almost reassuring to them. They know they're in the right place. They have a good experience every time they come here and they hear that music, and it tells them, yes, I'm back at my TV show. This is where I like to be. This is great. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to this new content. So that's what essentially you want to be able to do with your TV show as well, and it's not that difficult. So let's go back to YouTube, to Fiverr again, and have a look and see if we can find a provider that can give us what we're looking for. Now there's all sorts of novelty ways to do your intro, but you have to bear in mind that it can possibly get a little bit dull, or maybe everyone starts doing it and so you lose your point of difference. But let's have a look at another unique way of doing an intro. Here's one here. This is a professional particle logo revealer as a video intro or outro. Let's have a look at that one. Here's another one. I will create an awesome high-impact cinema-style video intro. Let's have a look at that one. Perhaps a little bit too much like a movie, so I'm not sure we'll go there. Here's another fun one. Let's have a look at this one. Now, beware, because you can get lost on Fiverr. I love it. You can spend all day drifting around looking at people's creatives. What I've discovered so far is that I think I need to get myself a logo first, and then give that logo to someone to create my intro. So I'm going to go back and find someone that can produce a really good logo for me. Simply type logo into the search box, and we'll see what we get. Okay, here's a top-rated seller, produces logos. We'll have it to me in about 3 days, and it has a 100% gig rating. And we can have a look at the sort of work that he does, which is pretty good. You get a lot for $5, that's for sure. So we're going to use this person, and we're going to give them a brief, send it off to them, tell them we want something for BrandSqueeze. So it might involve a piece of citrus with juice coming out of it, and we'll see what they come up with. I'll show you that in the next video, and then we'll brief that to the video intro company. And we'll see what they come up with for our video intro. All very exciting.